What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow back with the Boston Clinic and more. Shout out to Barbershop Conversation. I'm gonna lead this interview. He got caught up with Mike Stafford in New York in the description. So just check the description and link to the interview. And subscribe to Barbershop Conversation. Real trill dude for sure. Seen him chopping it up with Dante today in the back of the Lyft ride in New York. Thank you guys for the excellent coverage and interviews that you've given us that we couldn't get from the media. But here go the lowdown. Basically, Adrien Broner has left Mike Stafford as his primary boxing coach, and it sounds like from the interview that that he's now training with Kevin Cunningham down there. I heard Barry Hunter, but I've been seeing him with Kevin Cunningham, and Mike Stafford said, Broner is now staying in Florida. He said he can't be in Florida. He everywhere else, and Kevin Cunningham is like a brother, and that's where Adrien Broner is at currently. And we seen from the videos he been training with Devin Alexander on Instagram, and the videos showing on Facebook. He been training with Kevin Cunningham. We gonna see, what's the lowdown. We know Kevin Cunningham, Mike Stafford, Barry Hunter. All them guys are basically like a big family. So, Mike Stafford still helped co-train Robert Reisher Jr. and Rasheed Warren, the rest of those guys, and it's funny, because Broner, made that move under the radar. He kept it very tasteful. I'm pretty sure he told Mike to his face, or he didn't do it by text. And Mike Stafford seems he takes the high road. He gets a lot of flack for Adrien Broner's downfall, but I think it's Adrien Broner. I think Mike Stafford is a good coach, and we have criticized him before. And I thought about it. I said, man, this ain't this man's problem, man. He ain't the problem. Just Broner is full of himself. And, he been like a father figure to Broner, like millions or thousands of urban coaches and truancy officers and basketball coaches have been their whole life. They don't get enough credit. The guys that, spend their own money and take these kids on these amateur trips and take these kids to these basketball, football games and feed them and help them get up out the neighborhood. And the way Stafford reacted, he said, Broner's still my boy. He said, we still trying to get him back to the Adrien Broner he was at 35 and 30. And best believe he'll be back. We'll figure it out. We had a good Broner there with Mikey Garcia. He just couldn't pull the trigger. Just some mishaps. And he still seems very, adamant about defending Broner and still think he can be back to the form that he once was. And we'll see. We'll see it. Stafford took the high road and Broner did this in a tasteful way. He didn't do it through the media. He didn't, blast him or nothing. That means he ain't completely lost his brains. Because Mike Stafford, he been there for them boys for a long time. And I didn't think he was going to be able to, cut bait with Stafford because of the connection they had. But, maybe, somebody told him, like, you need to try something different. And maybe, he lent him to Kevin for a minute. Maybe back with Stafford. Maybe Stafford still works the corner as well. But Broner is now staying in Florida according to Stafford. Hopefully he can stay out of trouble and don't go back home and get shot up. But he's down there partying in Florida still. It seems like, I seen him drinking some Barbershop Conversation. I did the video about him drinking a bottle of Hennessy with Swali, one half of Ray Sherman, And that's unfortunate, man, that, he went from, what he was, working hard, grinding, to, now slugging down Hennessy. Now he's a celebrity. I think he reached the goals that he wanted to reach for himself. I don't think his goals, his immediate goals, or his real concrete goals was to be a Hall of Famer in boxing. I think it was to be a celebrity, and be able to be at the BET Awards and rub shoulders with the Migos and Swali, Ray Sherman, and Kodak Black and stuff of that nature. He's happy. He wants to be in the in crowd as a celebrity. He wants to be known as a celebrity, and boxing was just a platform to get him to being known, and it is what it is. It's no disrespect to Mike Stafford, and I'm glad Broner didn't do this on social media or didn't do it through the media. Or Mike Stafford, he got caught up with an interview. He was able to give you the lowdown, so it came from him. And perhaps Broner may be back, but good luck to Mike Stafford this weekend. Robert Reisher Jr. and Robert Reisher Jr. Sr. We're training their boy Robert Reisher Jr. And Kevin is an experienced guy. He used to be a former police officer. So he knows some things about the law. He's a disciplinarian. He's very tough on Devin. Hopefully he can be very tough on Adrien Broner. And be a father, a real father figure, and be not a yes man that Broner cat turned out to be. A bunch of yes men. And hopefully, Kevin Cunningham can be the no guy and Devin can be the no guy, and Von Alexander, his brother, the middleweight, can be the no guy, and keep this dude steering in the right direction. Because Von just did some years in jail himself. He's come back as a middleweight contender. Hopefully, training with those guys, can keep him in the right path, and hopefully he can stay out the club, be focused, Broner, and get back to what he once was, which I don't think is possible. Customato can come, Angelo Dundee can come back from the grave and train him. He couldn't be that, in my opinion, but best of luck to him. We gone.